for a championship!
A double play wins it for Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch! Skaneateles touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Elijah wins it. The championship.
You're looking live at Fowler Field here in Middletown, New York. It is from Section 11, the Center Moriches Red Devils, coming up from the south side of Long Island, taking on the Schuylerville Black Horses out of Section 2 in eastern Saratoga County. Hi, everyone. I'm Tim Drawbridge again, alongside this time around Dean Perry, doing a multitude of things, but also giving his expertise on the soccer game this afternoon. It's the second game of the Class B Boys Championship. Also above us on camera, Julie Gilboy. This was in a very interesting game with Schuylerville taking on Ichabod Crane a couple of weeks ago. Schuylerville, the number 2 seed in their section, with a major upset over a perennial foe and somebody who's usually in the state tournament, in Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, a big upset. I think my brother was up there for, in that section. So, yeah, we'll see. Because you take a look at the record, like, 15-7, but you never know because it depends who you play. Exactly.
The 2 seed in Class B this week would be the Red Devils from Center Moriches with a record of 16-2-2. This match is a little bit near and dear to my heart, having grown up in the east end of Long Island, about 20-30 minutes away from Center Moriches, and now about 20 to 30 minutes away from Schuylerville, having lived in Clifton Park. This is going to be, I think, a real good game and perhaps reminiscent of what we saw in the first Class B game today, with Cinderella on Schuylerville's side and Center Moriches looking to repeat what they did in 2017, which was take the Class B tournament.
Well, if we saw goaltending like we did in the last game,
yes.
Boy, oh boy, you can go a long way with a great goaltender, and certainly they did it. I guess we have the starting lineups now. Okay.
So we'll head down to our PA announcer.
Number 16, Tyler Markle. Number 17, Anthony San Diego. Number 18, Rick Spivak. Number 20, Dan Hillman. Number 21, Anthony Lutuma. Number 23, Rodrigo Delgado. Number 24, Liam Murphy. Number 26, James Debler Seidel. Number 27, Dennis Holborough. And number 28, Billy Novak. Those are the non-starters for the Red Devils. The starters for the Center Moriches Red Devils. Number 1, Colin Rapp. Number 2, Christian Wenzel. Number 3, Ethan DeVilvis. Number 7, Byron Miguel Perez. Number 10, Sam Trade. Number 11, Liam O'Brien. Number 12, Anthony Sunderman. Number 14, Michael Luongo. Number 19, Ryan McDermott. Number 22, Liam McDermott. And number 29, Jesus Rosa. Team bench personnel, Chris O'Brien, Mike Russo, Harvey Hoop, Sonny Segudo, Kevin Albert, Jeremy Toad, Mike Tarsinski, and Claire Pratt.
And Chris O'Brien is the head coach for the Red Devils.
Section 2 champion horses of Schuylerville. First and non-starters for the horses. Number 6, Matt Stompley. Number 8, Ethan Dubray. Number 10, Isaiah Torres Guzman. Number 11, Cam Wynn. Number 16, Nick O'Leary. Number 19, Troy Soriano. Number 20, Lucas Petrell. Number 21, Mark Solan. Number 22, Reed Rockhill. Number 23, Sam Tyler. And number 24, Ian Baker. And now the starters for the Schuylerville Horses. Number 1, Liam Armstrong. Number 2, Zach Stadelmeyer. Number 3, Caden Renner. Number 4, Alex Valet. Number 5, Reese Tavares.
Interesting story about Reese Tavares after we finish up the lineup announcement.
Brady Ugate. Number 12, Garrett Hutchinson. Number 13, Archimedes Davis. Number 15, Noah Morris. And number 17, Matt McCarthy. Bench personnel are Dave Gauci.
And Dave Gauci is the head coach for Schuylerville.
The national anthem was played earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, so referees are going to escort both teams back to their respective benches. And
Well, I guess the one thing we have to worry about, at least very early on, is the sunlight that's coming straight in at us. It's not going to affect the players, though, because the shadows have encased the field.
And the field, you have to be concerned about footing.
Yes.
Now that it's been warmed, it starts to cool, get a little condensation to take place. So it'll be interesting if we start seeing some slipping and sliding.
Especially, yeah, when it gets freezing, it freezes up.
Exactly. The interesting story about number 5 from Schuylerville, Reese Tavares. I believe he's been logging some frequent flyer miles, as he also is the place kicker for the football team on the Schuylerville Black Horses, where they were up in Ogdensburg last night, taking on Potsdam, won the game 28-8. And needless to say, it's either a trip back through Saratoga County or perhaps mom and dad get back down to Middletown somehow from 81 to 17.
Well, at least they had the late game today.
Yes, that is true. And hopefully the committee took that into consideration in terms of placing not only the football team last week up in Ogdensburg, but also how they kind of staggered everything through the day today. Waiting to see how the teams come out, see who's going to get first touch. Again, as we highlighted at the top, the Schuylerville Black Horses. They were a 6th seed in their Section 2 tournament, running with a Cinderella mentality. It was their first Section 2 title that they ended up winning last week as a 6th seed. They rolled through the tournament, beating Saranac 3-0. Ogdensburg Free Academy 1-0 to be here today to play in the late game. Center Moriches again from Suffolk County on Long Island beat Carl Place 2-0. Moved on to take Burke Catholic on, beat them 2-0.
I saw them a couple weeks ago. Burke Catholic was good, so that was a good win for them.
Good, strong program. And that's how they ended up getting here this afternoon. So the Red Devils will take the right side of the field. Schuylerville in their black and orange, along with the new blonde mane of hair on the entire team. Show of unity with the soccer team and how they've been playing. That is not the wind, by the way. That is coming from the backside on the turf.
Yeah, the wind's pretty much died down now.
That's the game between Mount Academy and Chazy in Class D.
Yeah, so just 2 more games, this one and the one behind us.
And we get ready to have the last 4 matches for the state championships here again tomorrow.
Actually, it'll be 5 here tomorrow.
Yes, 5 with all classes.
Yeah, AA comes in here tomorrow.
Having been over at Twin Towers Middle School today. So Center Moriches will get the first touch here in the first half. We're underway. Aggressive, number 14 for Center Moriches. Michael Luongo out of bounds. So they're going to have a throw in here. Garrett Hutchinson. The Black Horses tossing the ball over to Reese Tavares. Here's Schuylerville. And doing something that they did at the onset against Ichabod Crane 2 weeks ago up in Colony in the Capital District, Dean, evenly spacing and passing the ball.
Yeah, it looks like they are spacing up bunched together.
Here comes Center Moriches now. Ball being pushed downfield. Kick back in by Armstrong. Luongo, Michael Luongo,
Nice move there by Luongo.
pushing the ball downfield. Picked off by Schuylerville. Armstrong out of bounds, even though Hutchinson chases it down. The throw in by Perez. At least it'll be a little bit easier in this game with the names on the back of the Center Moriches jerseys without having to look down fast. Nice header. That would be Rockhill. Check that. If I look at the right roster, McDermott. Header back by Schuylerville. Another header again by Renner. And here comes the Black Horses pushing downfield. And we have an opportunity. But the ball will be kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, they tried to get it to Matt McCarthy.
Yeah, it was Sutterman. Good thinking, getting the ball out of bounds and getting his teammates back on defense. Nice kick by Tavares, curving left, chased down by Winchell. Kicked out.
And try to drop pass to Archimedes Davis. I love that name, by the way.
And that's number 7, Miguel Perez, kicking it out of bounds. And the Black Horses will have the throw-in. Tavares on the throw-in. Taken away. Kick downfield. O'Brien. Scragg coming down. Out of bounds. White ball. It'll be Wenzel on the throw-in. Looking for O'Brien. It's McDermott. Over to DeVellis. Toward McDermott. Liam McDermott. Ryan's number 19, his brother. Ball out of bounds, and Wenzel will run to the other side of the field for a throw-in. Nice long throw-in. Couple of headers by Schuylerville. Looking to kick it out and on down with another header by Matthew McCarthy. Kicked out of bounds by Jack Kleinman. Be a throw-in for the Black Horses.
No, it stayed in.
It did stay in.
Okay. Well, at least we're starting to see the lines a little better now with the sun coming down. Remember, we had a problem with the penalty box, whether there was a penalty, but it was a free kick outside the box. That was 2 games ago.
We can see the lines on the field, but we have the reflection to deal with
yes.
on the windows with the sun.
We're about 10 minutes away from having no issues. Lights are on.
Here's McDermott. Still with the ball. Pushing. Taken away. A battle and out of bounds. There'll be a throw-in for the Black Horses. Quickly. Wenzel. Up to Scragg. Still has it. Has 4 Schuylerville players around him, depending on your perspective. Perez. Wenzel charged. Didn't take the shot. Here's Rojas. To O'Brien. Davis on him. Davis takes it. Ball's out of bounds. Throwing from Schuylerville's vantage point. Saddlemeyer. Double kick off of O'Brien. Out of bounds, another Schuylerville throw-in.
You know, no threats of offense really yet for either team.
Early first half, just over 5.5 minutes played. Here's Scragg. A lot of spin on that ball, coming near side. Perez has it for Center Moriches. Plays it up to Perez. Scragg. On the attack, ball off of Schuylerville, out of bounds. Perez with another throw-in for Center Moriches. And the goalkeeper, 0-0, Brady Egger for Schuylerville. Takes the ball. Nice high kick, getting it back out beyond midfield. Push down towards Scrage again. Being defended by Renner in the corner. Schuylerville has it on the far side. To McDermott, cross field, coming from O'Brien. Wenzel has it. Now it's going to be taken away. McCarthy.
2-on-4, though.
Nice header. It's by your buddy Archimedes. And now the throw in for the Red Devils. McDermott. Racing back for it again. And here comes the goalkeeper, number 1, Colin Raup, the junior for Center Moriches.
Say Raup, you notice he had to back up into the penalty area before he could pick it up. He's not allowed to use his hands outside the penalty area.
And out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Schuylerville. 7.5 minutes gone. First half action, no score yet. It's the second game of the Class B Final Four. It's Armstrong. Moving past Winchell. Back to Scrage for Center Moriches. Schuylerville seemingly still trying to be disciplined in terms of spacing, but sometimes have gotten clustered together here.
Yes. On defense especially, they're trying to keep 3 and 4 in an organized line.
There's Armstrong for Schuylerville, pushing it upfield.
And tried to get it to Saddlemeyer, couldn't do so. Or I'm sorry, that's Wenzel.
Pushed up the field to Luongo. He's got Perez up to his left side.
Nice move.
Liam McDermott trailing to his right.
Yeah, Luongo, nice individual effort there. It's going to be a goal kick, it looks like.
Appears that's what it will be. Again, our view in that particular corner of the field obscured by the beam. Looking out the window here. Usually 8 times out of 10 we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, reason why corners are tough because there's no bleachers and there's no track.
Yes.
Have to get some water.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
4th match here on the grass, the 4th match on the turf behind us, and 2 others. Total of 10 matches today. Scrage trying to go for it for Center Moriches. Got kicked across field. That'll be picked up by O'Brien. Up into the air by Sunderman. A header by Saddlemeyer. McCarthy trying to chase it down for Schuylerville. It's O'Brien, Center Moriches to McDermott. Nice pickup by Ethan DeVelvis. DeVelvis, rather. And I see a different spelling on his jersey, so we'll go with DeVelvis.
I think the coach told me DeVelvis.
DeVelvis. So the ball is out of bounds. A throw in for Schuylerville. Just over 10 minutes gone. First half action, no score.
Yeah, it really seems like both teams are just feeling each other out. They no big scoring opportunities yet. So
here comes Murphy for the throw-in for the Red Devils. To Scrage. Scrage still on it. Over toward McDermott. Actually, probably more toward Perez. McDermott was in the vicinity. Sunderman pushes the ball up. Schuylerville kicks it back out. Here's McDermott. That's Murphy. Murphy to O'Brien. Kicked out again by Schuylerville. DeVellis.
Yeah, no shots on goal, no corner kicks yet, so it's just middle of the field. It's pretty much the game right now.
Sunderman with a kick in. That being from midfield. Here comes O'Brien. And it looks like Schuylerville is willing to try to get this to a goal kick, but Scrage comes down to put pressure on the defenseman.
Yeah, almost a giveaway to Liam McDermott.
So the ball kicked to the far side, cross midfield. Sunderman tracks it down. Kicked back into Schuylerville territory. And a whistle.
I think it's a foul there. Got his leg and caught him. First foul of the game.
Yeah. And that comes at approximately the 12:15 mark of the first half. Here's the kick by Schuylerville. Deep, but the keeper, Colin Raup, snags it on one bounce. Throws it down, takes the kick. Out beyond midfield. It's McDermott. Again, McDermott. Pushing deep. Scrage trying to go in for it. Schuylerville still even spacing.
Well, we might have had a goal right behind us. We got to find out who it is.
That or it's a thundering herd of buffalo from Middletown. Here's Raup.
Mount Academy, I guess, just scored.
That's Perez being chased down by Davis. Luongo pushes it upfield. Looked like he was wanting Ryan McDermott to keep moving. O'Brien. He pushes it down now to McDermott. Don't hear a whistle, so I presume it went out of bounds. And we got a goal kick.
Yep. It's gone over the end line.
So the goal kick will be taken by Valley. The left footer, the southpaw, gets it up to Winchell. Winchell's got O'Brien on him. Now to bounce off of O'Brien. The throw in by Winchell. It's McCarthy. Rojas by Center Moriches has it. Raup comes out. Ooh, almost took off Settlemeyer's head.
And once it came to him, he had to get rid of it. Couldn't pick it up.
All right, here's the throw in. This will be Garrett Hutchinson. It's Armstrong.
Nice pivot move.
Some pressure finally by the Schuylerville offense. Cleared out by.
Of course, the Schuylerville fans wanted a penalty.
Yep. Sunderman with another clear out to O'Brien. That's Armstrong. Nice header by Sunderman. Winchell. Can't get an angle. There was some open space, but it's cleared out again by Sunderman. Sunderman playing good defense here at the onset as we pass the 15-minute mark in the first half.
Oh, nice move.
That would be Winchell. It's Noah Morris chasing it down, having the ball off his body. A throw in for the Red Devils.
All right, so the sun's pretty much past the trees now, so we don't have to worry about the glare anymore.
Here's Sunderman trying to chase it down for the Red Devils.
Tomorrow's supposed to be cloudy, so I don't think there's going to be an issue with the sun. I think the rain's supposed to come in like late Sunday into Monday, so I don't think there's any threat of rain tomorrow. I'll have to double check on that.
That would be good, considering the turf looks in excellent shape below here.
Yep. But on this field, it'll be 2 games only. And the field behind us, the turf, will have 3 games. And the girls' tournament's going on. The state finals are at Cortland.
Yep.
Her brother's actually up there.
Worked with him a couple of weeks ago in Colony. And it's great to see the flow of how these games go. A little bit more regarding breathing room in between games here this weekend, but still, teams come in, get your awards while the next team comes in to warm up, get them off the field, start the next game, fans in, fans out.
And Cortland has the same setup as this high school does. They
Yeah.
have the field, the white field in and the red field.
Nice.
And that's a beautiful facility up there.
Looking forward to come back for some high school football action next weekend here from Middletown.
Well, you got to be semifinals already next week, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Port Jervis is in. Shenendahoa is in. Schuylerville football is in. Last check, Cornwall was up on Queensbury. Mariah beat Warrensburg. That's only to mention a few of the games. Here's Ralph, the goal kick, into the air. Height, beautiful, distance, just as nice.
No foul if they're going to call foul on that.
Ralph charging the ball as he was being charged by Armstrong of the Black Horses. Another beautiful kick by Ralph. Strag going up for the header. I believe he had Renner behind him. Ball's in the near corner. That's cross field kick. That was ready to call McDermott, but it was Murphy.
Yeah, shot goes wide there.
So we'll have a goal kick as we start approaching the halfway mark here in the first half of the second game of the Class B Final Four. Again, Center Moriches took the tournament in Class B 2 years ago. Here's the kick. That was Valley. Nice kick out to midfield. Here's Murphy again. Pushes it upfield. That's to McDermott. McDermott looking for Perez. Perez looking back toward McDermott. McDermott pushes it over. Taking down Luongo. No call, though. Here's Murphy.
And good reaction defense there as Murphy put it in the box.
That was by Renner. Out of bounds. No signal by the far side official, but out of bounds on Schuylerville. Nice kick by Perez. Out of bounds on Schuylerville. There's Scrage. Ball dribbling back toward midfield. Sunderman clears it. Pushes it back deeper into Schuylerville territory. McDermott rolling with it.
Yeah, more than halfway through the first half. No really big threats scoring-wise.
No, not at all. But this is kind of how the game went with Schuylerville against Ichabod Crane a couple weeks ago, too.
Just waited for their chance, pretty much.
Yeah, they kind of went into halftime. I believe it was 0-0, and they had their scoring in the second half and took the game 2-1. Nice kick, but snagged by Ugair. That was Luongo. But a nice clear shot that Ugair snagged.
Yeah, he got it to the middle, but it was right to him, so an easy save as it turned out.
It's one of those saves where if you flinch, you'll miss it. Here's Raup now. Rolls it out of the box. Nice long kick again. There's O'Brien. Tavares snags it away. Push toward midfield to McCarthy. There's Perez. Both players looking for positioning on the ball. Perez has it, pushes it back to Rojas. Rojas now near side to Murphy. It was intended to McDermott, but Armstrong coming through the backside. Murphy crossfield, Rojas. Ooh, incidental contact, but the whistle is blown.
Foul going the other way.
That was on Jones. So Valley will wind up one more time. 23 minutes in, first half, no score. Nice header by Sunderman. Schrag has it now. Lights have pretty much taken full effect onto the field. Gorgeous sunset, southern edge of the Catskills. We take in the action between Schuylerville and Center Moriches here from Middletown and Fowler Field on the NFHS network. Again, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry. Julie Gilboy upstairs.
Sure, Julie's happy the sunset to put up with the glare upstairs.
At least the wind hasn't been too bad, but we say that and it picks up with Old Glory flapping in the wind. Schuylerville trying to center it. Headed out. That was by Murphy. Luongo trying to come in. Rojas 2. Call goes against the Black Horses.
Yeah, third foul on the Black Horses.
Officially only one shot on goal by each team as we remain scoreless. Raup will take the kick. Spinning kick, got underneath the ball a little bit. That would have been Tavares. It goes out of bounds. Murphy will take the throw in for the Red Devils. He's looking for Schrage. But Schuylerville kicks it back downfield, going out of bounds one more time. Nice header by Valley. At least attempted one. Schrage. Nice movement. Defense collapses in on him. Cleared out by Renner. Ball back across midfield, and Center Moriches will try to set it up one more time.
That's right. Schrage trying to make something happen there.
He's been lurking down on that side of the field anytime the ball heads that way for the Red Devils, so you know they're trying to get the ball to him one way or another. Taken away by the Red Devils, but
handball. Might have been foul or handball. Might have hit his hand.
Handball, I think, by
the
way the ref was gesturing to his his right hand.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any contact. Ooh, good kick.
Schuylerville trying to push in. Still pushing. That's Davis. Kicked back in by Renner. Davis again. Davis still going. And the whistle. They'll call that on Davis. I do have to say, for as easy as it is to catch the names quickly in the back of the Center Moriches jerseys, I've been able to connect the way people look with jersey numbers very quickly today. It's very hard to do when every player has blonde hair. For
Yes,
Schuylerville.
that is true. At least Schuylerville has legible numbers.
That is also true. Yeah. Easy to catch the orange off that black. Yeah. Nice header back in by Armstrong. Series of headers now. Ball's back on the ground, and here comes Armstrong. Kicks it in toward Rop. Catches it on the fly. 27.5 minutes gone. First half, still no score. Here's Perez. Now Luongo to McDermott. O'Brien's off to his left. Looks to dink it in to him, but it may have been too hard. O'Brien gets a shot.
Yeah, tried to get the header over to Patrick Jones.
Here's Perez back over to Luongo. Luongo's still going. And trying to clear it back to midfield is Renner again.
Yeah,
Out of bounds.
Yeah, Jones was in the box trying to head that kick home and just beyond his reach.
Here is Perez. Header out of bounds. Ball on a throw in now to Schuylerville. And a penalty. Yeah. That'll go on Center Moriches. Schuylerville will take the kick at about midfield. That'll be Zachary Saddlemeyer.
So it is halftime. Looks like Mount Academy's up 1-0 in the D semifinal.
Another whistle against Center Moriches.
Looks like a foul again. I don't think it was a handball because he was sort of fronting him a little bit. So free kick just outside the box. So this could be a little dangerous here. It's going to be taken by Reese Tavares. Oh, I'm sorry, number 2. Zachary Saddlemeyer. Just
Ball.
wide, yep.
Had the height. Just didn't have the accuracy left or right. So Raup is looking for a ball. Another goal kick as we approach the 30-minute mark here, first half. Nice kick again by Raup over the midfield stripe. McDermott pressured by McCarthy. Trying to get it downfield, but Center Moriches responds it, gets it out of bounds. Get a throw in for Schuylerville, and Davis is looking for it on that sideline. There's McDermott, back to Sunderman. Kicks back across the midfield stripe. Schrage was lurking again. There's McDermott being chased down by McCarthy. Pushed upfield, Patrick Jones. Here's Schrage. Schrage Got 3 defenders around him. Gets the ball. Oh, what a save. Beautiful save by Uguer.
Yeah, Uguer, boy, he had to be on his toes on that one.
3-on-1, and Strage still gets a good shot off.
Sharp angle, too.
Yes.
Might have the corner kick here.
Yep. Corner kick for Center Moriches.
I think that's the first one of the game.
Mm-hmm. After so many corner kicks we had in the previous Class B game. Here's the kick. A header. That's Jones. It goes wide right.
Yeah, good delivery into the box. And the delivery made by Ryan McDermott.
So we come up on the 32-minute mark.
Looks like these teams are starting to get more shots. Not always on goal, but they are getting shots.
Valley with the kick. Perez. Ooh. A little bit of push down right in front of the official.
Yeah, fronted him.
I believe that was on Saddlemeyer. I have 2 versus 7. Here's Valley with another kick. Raup will snag it.
Yeah, airmailed it right to him.
Nice high long kick back toward midfield. There's Jones. Luongo. Luongo taken away by Armstrong. Pitches it down. Here comes Raup. Nice header.
Yeah, he had to head it out or kick it out. He's out of the penalty area.
Series of headers by both teams. Attempt at another one. That's Ethan DeVeldis kicking it out of bounds. Quick throw in by Schuylerville. Header by Jones. McCarthy. Sunderman in the action again. There's number 15, who we haven't called, Joey Luongo. So Michael's 14, Joey's 15. Over to McDermott. 2 McDermott's on Center Moriches 2. Liam being 19, Ryan is 22. There's McCarthy trying to come on Sunderman. Raup clears it.
Yeah, good shield on that.
Here's Valley pushing it the far side. Looking for McCarthy. That's cleared out by Rojas. Got a whistle and a throw in. This will be by Jones for the Red Devils. Out of bounds again. 34 minutes gone, first half. Still no score between Schuylerville and Center Moriches. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Center Moriches in their white and red. Schuylerville in the black and orange. Rojas has it taken away by Armstrong, but it goes right over to Veldis. Throw in by Schuylerville is what the far side official says. Here's Sunderman downfield to Luongo. Jones comes up, goes out of bounds. He'll do the throw in. Here's Jones down the far sideline. Schuylerville player down, no call. Nice long kick. That was by Perez. We'll get a goal kick by Schuylerville.
Had some pace on it, but not accurate.
Here comes Valley. Another nice kick by Valley. crossing midfield. Out of bounds, slipping down in front of one of the cameramen on the far side of the field.
Yeah, tried to save it, just couldn't do it.
Here's the throw in by Joey Luongo. Towards Schrage, kicks it back to Sunderman. Across the field to Liam McDermott. Liam over to Murphy. Murphy loses it. Tries to get it back again. Kicked out of bounds. I want to say that was kicked out by Reese Tavares. Almost 37 minutes gone. First half, still no score. Tavares and Schrage going at it. Schrage again.
See what they call here. Goal kick, I think. It went out on him.
Had runner right on him. Just couldn't get the right angle to try to get a shot on goal. Here is Valley again. Not as much height. Comes down to Michael Luongo. There's O'Brien. Handball.
Handball, yep. Just bounced up on, was it Renner? Yeah.
So
Actually, it might have been two. Saddlemeyer.
And, oh, what a save. Michael Luongo with a fake kick by Perez and the save by Uguer.
Boy, dangerous area, too. Just outside the penalty area, and that is dangerous, because especially if you're in the middle of the field.
I don't know about Uguer, but I was focused on Perez, and all of a sudden you saw 14 make the plant of his foot and kicked with the left. So Schuylerville dodges a bullet there. There's Rojas off the backside of Perez. Rojas back with it.
Obviously, that was the Red Devils' best opportunity to score.
Here's Murphy.
They didn't have enough on it to get through.
Luongo tries to chase it down. Here's Sunderman. Over toward Liam McDermott. Back to Sunderman. Sunderman shoots it in. That's snagged by Uguer. Brady Uguer playing some good goalkeeping right now, preventing this Center Moriches team from scoring.
Minute to go.
Here's McCarthy sending it in toward Raup. We'll let it get into the box. Little charge here by Winchell, keeping him honest. Little bounce kick toward Schrage. Michael Luongo chasing Armstrong.
Good play. O'Brien. Still have some time here throwing.
Less than 20 seconds. A little bit of a scramble. There's Murphy.
Yeah, he couldn't control the ball, couldn't settle it.
That would be Ian Winchell. Just trying to get the clock to run out at this point. And that's what's going to happen. So we're going to head into halftime on the second game of the Class B Final Four between the Center Moriches Red Devils and the Schuylerville Black Horses. We are tied at 0. We're going to take a TV timeout. You're watching the NFHS Boys Soccer Championship on the NFHS Network. And welcome back to Fowler Field in Middletown, where we have a scoreless tie between the Schuylerville Black Horses and the Center Moriches Red Devils. Tim Roberts alongside Dean Perry. Been a good game in the first half thus far. Both teams have had several opportunities. Center Moriches putting the pressure on Schuylerville a little bit before halftime.
Yeah, especially that one free kick could have been put in late in the first half, but definitely a good save by the goaltender, Uguerre.
Schuylerville again, the 6th seed, winning their first Section 2 tournament, coming in as a Cinderella and doing something very similar to what they did a couple weeks ago. Even spacing, both offense and defense. At times, they've kind of strayed away from that discipline, and it's almost caught them off guard with Center Moriches taking advantage. Strage is kind of lurking on their side of the field, looking for a breakaway.
Yeah, they're going to have to be a little better organized on the back end, 3 together or 4 together, and getting broken up a little bit. So that could be an issue heading to the second half.
You got some halftime stats here.
Yes, I do. And shots are 6-3 in favor of the Red Devils. But shots on goal were 2 each. Just the one corner, and that belonged to Center Moriches. 4 fouls each, so a little, physical out there. And just the one offsides for Schuylerville.
Not as physical as what we saw with the second game of Class A today between Rye and Jericho. If you're Schuylerville at this point, I think you pretty much got to stay true to form, true to your discipline.
Yeah, be who you are.
That's what got you here. If you're Center Moriches, if you try to put pressure on Schuylerville, maybe you take advantage.
Yes. Try to break them down along that back line. Try to get some through balls as well. And maybe try to get some more corner kicks and set pieces, especially that free kick was almost a goal there. So if you get some set pieces, you might break through.
We've seen outstanding goal play during the first Class B game. That between 2 foes from the central and the western portion of the state, being Skaneateles and Haverling. Skaneateles won that game 3-1. Looks like we've had also some great goalkeeping here in the first half between Raup and Uguerre.
Yeah, well, Andrew Newman, he was planted all to his own. I mean, the saves he made in that game were unbelievable. He single-handedly won that game for him. It could have easily been 4 or 5-3 instead of 3-1 victory, or 5-3 loss instead of a 3-1 victory.
And again, that was a victory by Skaneateles, as they also were number 6 seed coming into their tournament a few weeks ago.
Mount Academy got their second goal.
So they're up 2-0 in the second half over on the turf. And we're about 5 minutes away from starting the second half here. We'll go ahead. We'll take the TV timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready for the second half. We'll get you caught up with some scores from some of the other games if you haven't caught them already today. You're watching the Class B Championship Boys Soccer match between Center Moriches and Schuylerville on the NFHS Network.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
Still at halftime here, Fowler Field, Middletown, Class B Boys Soccer Championship between Schuylerville and Center Moriches. The fourth game on the grass today. We've had 4 games over on the turf. 2 down at Twin Towers Middle School. Let's get you caught up to speed with some of the scores. Fairport in double overtime over Shenandoah. The Plainsmen lose 1-0 to Fairport. Ossining taking on Brentwood in that second game. Again, this is Class AA. They also went to double overtime. Brentwood from Long Island beats Ossining 1-0. In Class A, our first game here on the grass this morning was Greece Athena. The first time since 2014, Greece Athena will get into the boys Class A championship game, beating Jonesville DeWitt by a 2-0 score. Jericho over Rye in a very physical game. A number of yellow cards and a red card in that game. The second game on the grass here, 3-0 Jericho over Rye. In Class B, our first game again, Skaneateles over Bath Haverling, 3-1. Outstanding goal play, as we've mentioned, Dean, by Andrew Newman.
Yep.
In Class C today, 3 years in a row for Lansing to get into the state championship. They beat Kishakwa 4-0. Rhinebeck over Voorheesville from the Helderbergs of Albany County, 1-0. So they're happy in Northwestern Dutchess County this evening. They'll end up playing Lansing at 10:30 on the grass below tomorrow morning. Marathon beats Fillmore 3-0 today in Class D. Mountain Academy on the turf right now in the second half. It's still a 2-0 lead over Chazy.
About 32 minutes to go.
So we got in Class C tomorrow, Class C, Lansing and Rhinebeck. We have Greece Athena in Class A taking on Jericho. That will be on the turf at 12:30. And the teams that were at Twin Towers today are on the turf tomorrow at 10 a.m. Fairport taking on Brentwood at 10 a.m. Busy slate yesterday, busy slate again tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and stay here and take a TV
30-second one.
We'll take a 30-second timeout. You are watching the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player and select DVD or digital copy to get yours today.
Welcome back to Middletown. Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry. Julie Gilboy back up on camera above us, getting ready for second half action between Schuylerville and Center Moriches. If I recall, at the beginning of the game, Center Moriches had first kick. That'll go to Schuylerville to start off the second half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Schuylerville very deliberate on offense. We'll see if they try to get a little more aggressive on offense, but so far, nothing spectacular.
Looking back into Section 2, Section 9 football action, halftime, Cornwall on top of Queensbury, 14-6. Winner of that game down here next week as we transition from boys soccer to high school football action on the gridiron. 2 games on Friday night here on NFHS, 3 on Saturday, noon, 3 and 6 o'clock. A lot of action going on across the state as we get ready to head for Thanksgiving weekend and the championships at the Carrier Dome. It's 2 weeks from today.
Wow. Time flies.
Coming up fast. Got field hockey championships this weekend. The girls soccer championships are taking place over at Cortland. Just some of the action you can catch here on the NFHS network. So we'll flip sides of the field for this second half. Schuylerville in their black and orange will now take the right side of your TV screen and defend that goal. The Center Moriches Red Devils will take the left side and defend the left goal. Again, if you're just joining us, Schuylerville black and orange. Center Moriches in the visiting white with the red numerals. I think the tone of this game will be dictated in the next 10 to 15 minutes if Center Moriches can penetrate the discipline and the patience of Schuylerville.
Yeah, that's going to be key, no question about it. And then again, if you're Center Moriches, you know, you don't want to just leave yourself exposed on a counter either.
No. So here's Armstrong pushing it up to McCarthy. McCarthy looking for Davis. Pushed out, crashing down to the ground is Rojas for the Red Devils. He's not getting up. He kind of pushed off Davis and going down to the ground hard on one of his knees, and he's grabbing for that lower right leg.
I was just about to say that first half there were no stoppages.
No.
That would have been the big broadcaster's jinx if I had said that.
Ground's not quite frozen, but still, you got to consider the fact that if you come down at the wrong angle, it's gonna hot. So Rojas is back up. We'll have the kick by Raup. Long kick, not much height. Schuylerville side of the field, back toward midfield, and that's Perez. McCarthy and Sunderman still have it. Challenge. Here's McCarthy. Takes it away. He's got leverage in an angle. Can he get the angle on the goal, though? Takes a shot. It's blocked by Sunderman.
Should be a corner, though.
Quick feet by McCarthy, the senior for Schuylerville. And it will be a corner kick like Dean said. Middle of the field. Oh, missed by Schuylerville. Raup out of goal. Snags it. Barely.
Caden Renner is the cutter. Couldn't get it to him, though.
Raup right on the edge of that box, too. There's a header up. There's Strage along with Luongo. Nice play by Schuylerville, coming back on defense.
Yeah, the Black Horses got away with one on that one. Michael Luongo had an excellent opportunity there.
Was that Reese Tavares or is that Dubray coming back on defense? Strage lurking again. So we'll have a goal kick now. Valley will line it up on the left side of the goal. Early stages, second half. Both teams trying to quickly get into one another's goal box. That was McDermott, pushed up by the Red Devils. Luongo, Perez.
Yeah, it seems like the Red Devils are attacking more on defense. Oh, good save there.
Up, watch it. Coming across. Is wide open. Nice by the defenseman of Schuylerville. That goal was wide open.
Yeah, Liam McDermott was right there for the Red Devils.
And we have a penalty on Luongo.
Yeah, foul, no card or anything.
So that's where Valley will take the kick. That goal was wide open, Dean.
Yes, couldn't put it in, though. Remains scoreless, but you can start to see the Red Devils are trying to break down the Black Horses' defense. We'll see how far it can go.
Here's Luongo. Saddlemeyer.
Nice spin move there.
Kick downfield. There's Tavares. Almost a kick and a miss. Gotta believe he's feeling tired after being up with the football team in Ogdensburg last night. Here's Perez for
slipped a little.
The Red Devils. Saddlemeyer kicks it down, but here's Raup to bat it back. Luongo Up to O'Brien. Cross to Perez. Touches it back. That's Liam McDermott. Kicks it up and in. And too long, too high.
Just trying to put something on net.
It's the first time Schuylerville has been a sectional winner and in the state tournament. Center Moriches has been here 2 years ago. Clearly they've got the experience. Schuylerville doesn't want to lose the glass slipper. There's a throw in by Schuylerville. Sunderman knocks it back toward McDermott. There's Perez for the Red Devils, and here's Armstrong pushing it back for the Black Horses. Sunderman again to Luongo. Luongo up to O'Brien. Out of bounds, it'll be a throw in for Schuylerville. The throw in. Michael Luongo, nice move. Taking it in still by himself. Push off. Well, contact with Renner, and Luongo is still down. So he gets to his feet. A little bit of a gimp favoring his right leg. Nice long throw in by Center Moriches with a whistle.
No, I guess there's a foul in front. Like the referee's giving a little back kick like a horse would do. Well, they are the Black Horses, but
it's a pro,
yeah.
apropos.
Yep. I guess it was not a good throw-in. Maybe he went over the line on the throw-in because it's just throw-in for the Black Horses, so it's a violation.
Here's Perez. Here's Schrage. To Brian trying to push in, but the Black Horses were right there. Nice long throw in. Kicked back by Saddlemeyer. That's Armstrong. Perez shooting it back towards Sunderman. He's got Liam McDermott down the right side.
Good job keeping it in.
Kick back to the middle of the field, and here's Uguer. Seven minutes gone, second half. Good kick by Uguer to the midfield circle. Kick back by Wenzel.
Yeah, it seems like the field's starting to slant a little bit for the Red Devils here. They're getting the better opportunities to score.
Wenzel again going to take the throw in. Good, deep, long. Kicked out by Armstrong. A header back by Sunderman. Luongo. How tenacious has Michael Luongo been in the second half already?
Boy, Rob was way out here. He's been aggressive out there. I'll give him that.
Yes.
I don't know if he can get a break going, but that time they couldn't, as the ball couldn't be settled.
There's McCarthy. It's a breakaway. Sunderman, shot on goal, too high.
Offside, I think the flag's up.
Yep. McCarthy had him beat, but he was too far out in front.
That was pretty close. I guess he was a step or two ahead.
And McCarthy questioning the call from the far side official.
Now, he can break ahead of the defense behind him once the ball's kicked. So he's allowed to do that, but he can't get behind the defense before the ball is kicked.
Here's Raup. Nice high long kick. That could be trouble. Good header by Schuylerville. Here's Perez going up against Winchell. Tavares saying, let it go. Roll it across the end line. Let's take a goal kick. So here comes Valley. 9.5 minutes gone, just about, second half. Good high kick, not quite to midfield. Saddlemeyer, checked on Armstrong. McCarthy were there, but here's Michael Luongo for the Red Devils again. Nice move to get it back inside, heading to the center of the field. Schrage was the closest Red Devil who could have picked it up, but Michael Luongo and this Red Devil team keep putting the pressure on the Black Horses in the second half.
Nice shield job to keep possession.
That's Wenzel again, ready for the throw-in. Nice kick out by Schuylerville. Winchell and Wenzel going at it. McCarthy just kicks it out of bounds.
Yeah, sort of miskicked on that one. Little shank job.
Winchell, quick, short throw-in, and a whistle.
Another, violation on a throw-in. I guess they're getting their feet over the line when they throw it in.
Ball this time is out on Schuylerville, so it'll be Center Moriches throw-in, deep throw-in beyond Schrage. Here's Sunderman. Sunderman's got McDermott in front of him. Schrage toward the goal box. Luongo, but nice header. That was Reese Tavares getting that ball knocked back out. The ball does go over the end line, and we'll have a goal kick by Schuylerville.
I think Chasey just scored, so it's 2-1 now for the Mount Academy with just under 18 minutes to go. Yes, it is. It's 2-1 now.
Here's Valley. Toward McCarthy. And we have a handball?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Or push off the back.
I didn't say a handball. I think it was rattling around there.
So Valley will take this one. See if Schuylerville can kind of shift field position here now.
Yeah, they've been on heels a little bit. The Red Devils have been the more aggressive team.
Ball goes out of bounds. A throw in now for Center Moriches. 12 minutes gone. Second half. First time Schuylerville's gotten this deep in a few minutes. That's 15. Noah Morris for Schuylerville. We haven't called his number yet today. Ralph snags it out of the air. Sends everybody downfield. Who's ready to send one long distance. Out of bounds, throw in. Here comes Wenzel for the Red Devils. Perez and a kick. Will be wide left.
Yeah, just pulled it left.
Here's Valley. We'll take the goal kick. Out toward midfield, Sunderman. Looking towards Schrage. Here comes Uguer. Uguer's got to know Schrage is close by anytime he comes up to try to snag one out of the air and kick it back down.
That's why he's got to be more aggressive up there. Might have been a handball. Yep. Bounced up.
So Schuylerville will kick it from where you see the official. I believe that's Sandelmeyer who will take the kick. Somewhat of a header there. Attempt by Rojas. Brings it up back toward midfield. Taken away by Armstrong. Ball sails long. That's Jones. Almost completely taken away, but Jones gets possession back. McCarthy on Sunderman. Another challenge between the two of these guys again. Over to Perez. Back to midfield. There's Michael Luongo. Looking up toward Winchell. That is O'Brien. Over toward Perez. Nice takeaway. That would be Armstrong. Out of bounds. And then we'll go to Center Moriches. Jones looking for Schrage. Back to Rojas. Nice header. That was by Renner. Here's McDermott. Watch out. There's Jones out in front.
Might be a corner. I think it was deflected.
Yeah, a little bit. The way everybody's walking.
No, it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah. So goal kick for Schuylerville. As we're just about 16 minutes into the second half, still no score.
Looks like I have an injury.
And that would be Perez, one of the Center Moriches Red Devils. Coaches and training staff come out.
Byron Miguel Perez.
I want to thank you for joining us here on the NFHS Network. I'm Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry. This is the second game in Class B today. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the previous game we took in between Haverling and Skaneateles. Skaneateles winning that game 3-1.
Thanks to the heroics of Andrew Newman in goal. We'll see him tomorrow.
He had some fantastic plays in that game. I'm looking back quick because it was also on defense, number 11, Alex Orfeev for Skaneateles, who had some great defensive play too. Valley on the goal kick. Ball back across midfield, going back and forth, both teams. Here's McDermott kicking it back to Sunderman. Jones to his right. Luongo to his left. Jones and Renner going at it.
It's like a corner.
And it will be.
It's going to be taken by Liam O'Brien.
Header.
Oh, hit his own guy.
And out of position was Uguer.
Yeah, Wenzel headed it. It hit Ryan McDermott. I think that was going in if it didn't hit him.
It was. Uguer was out of position. Red Devils putting a lot of pressure on the Black Horses. Out of bounds. And it'll be a Schuylerville throw-in. Schuylerville dodging another bullet. We make our way past the 17-minute mark of this second half. Not a throw-in, but it'll be a kick by Valley. Get out to midfield. Luongo gets it on the way down. Kicked in by Schuylerville. Here's Raup
Yeah.
kicking it high and deep.
Black Horse is very fortunate on that corner kick.
Out of bounds. Sunderman leaves it for Jones. He'll throw it in. Jones towards Schrage. Also McDermott. Goes out of bounds. Off of Noah Morris. Here's a throw in. Luongo, the intended. Cleared again by Schuylerville. Raup playing up, gets it back quickly into Schuylerville's end. There's Schrage. Schrage trying to set it up for Jones. Jones goes in. Cleared again by Schuylerville. Center Moriches putting a ton of pressure on the Schuylerville defense. Kick by McDermott, too high, too wide to the left.
Yeah, good opportunity for Liam McDermott. Just went too far upper left.
So Valley will take yet another goal kick. Most of the second half has been played on the Schuylerville side of the field. Out to the midfield circle. Seeing Winchell for Schuylerville. To Settlemeyer. Leading it for McCarthy. They called offsides again on McCarthy.
Yep. Third offsides for the Black Horses. But a big opportunity for them if he ever stayed on side.
Exactly.
Could have chipped it right over the goaltender. Uguer.
Here's Raup. Luongo's right there again. Cleared out. That's by Renner.
Actually, Raup, not Uguer. Raup.
McDermott. Jones trying to put some pressure. Raup again.
I guess he doesn't feel any pressure. There's only one forward up there, so.
Here's Michael Luongo again. Reese Tavares on him. Nice defense, 3-on-1. Tavares comes off to try to pick up O'Brien, and the ball goes out of bounds.
And they get a throw in. No, actually, he's going to go to Schuylerville.
More than halfway now. Second half, still scoreless. Michael Luongo's got the ball again, but it goes back over to Armstrong, who kicks it downfield. That's going to be picked off by McDermott. McCarthy's on him. Kicked back in by Rojas. Schuylerville. Oh, that's a little dangerous with 3 Red Devils around that ball. Sunderman.
Nice fake.
Being challenged by Hutchinson. To McDermott. There's Davis. Archimedes Davis back in for defense on Schuylerville. Here's the throw in by Wenzel. Check that, Perez. Back across midfield again. Raup out far distance from his goal.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Devils are just attacking so much that the Black Horses have had to keep so many players back on defense.
Nice move by Luongo. Several nice moves. McCarthy kicks it back to Settlemeyer. Watch out, Schrage. Nice move by Armstrong, getting it to the sideline. McCarthy to Winchell. O'Brien, check that, McDermott to Rojas to Wenzel. Here's O'Brien. Wenzel on the throw-in, quick. Kicked out by Schuylerville. And we have a whistle.
Must have been a foul on when they're both going up for the ball. Oh, no, it's going out of bounds. So throwing, is that another violation for them on the throw-in?
I don't know. That's a good question. It'll be the third one now.
Yeah.
23-minute mark. Second half. Scoreless tie between Schuylerville and Center Moriches. Ralph out of the box again. Not as far as he's been, but still. Here's McDermott.
He tried to thread the needle there.
It's Morris that kicked it back, Luongo. And we have Luongo tied up with Armstrong, and we have...
This is a big free kick here, just outside the penalty area, right in the middle. That's a good place to have it.
Yeah. Who will the kick be taken by, Luongo or Perez? Remember what happened closing minutes of the first half. It was deception. And O'Brien decides to join the conference. Nice block, Saddlemeyer.
Yeah, a little tap pass to Luongo there, but good defense.
It's out of bounds. Throw in by Wenzel. It's a header by Schuylerville. Kicked out again. Nice move. That's Winchell. Up the side. Raup out of the box again. Pressure by McCarthy.
Might as well.
Yeah. That's caught by Saddlemeyer. Armstrong. Strage pursuing. Downfield kick. It's towards Davis. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Center Moriches, but at least it's on their side of the field now for Schuylerville. And a whistle again.
They stopped the clock.
And we have an injury to Renner for Schuylerville. That or an equipment issue. So we have a stoppage in play as we hit the 25-minute mark of the second half. Again behind us, Class D, second game.
Gonna have a draw here, I think. Or no? Let's see. Seen a few of them in District 9 when they had the playoffs. No, they're just gonna kick it back.
Mount Academy 2-1 over Chazy over on the turf behind us. They're late in the second half.
Well, they haven't started the clock yet. That's an issue.
Yes, it is. There's Winchell trying to break away. Both players go down. We have a whistle. And Center Moriches can't believe it. So they are going to end up having the penalty on them.
So just outside the box, but they have not started the clock yet.
No, and Schuylerville is ready to move.
Because right now I have 14:33, so I think they're going to talk it over. Now they're starting the clock at 14:53. It was 14:58 earlier. So we'll see what they set it at. So,
and I think that's what Coach O'Brien from Center Moriches came out in the field to kind of clamor about.
14:30 they're going to put it at.
So Saddlemeyer appears to be lined up to take the kick. McCarthy is to his left. Winchell diagonal, kind of a 10:30, 11 o'clock position to his top left. Blocked. Saddlemeyer gets it back out to McCarthy. Here's McCarthy. weaving through. Got an opportunity for Schuylerville, but it's shut down immediately.
Yeah, he pulled it back.
That's 28 for Schuylerville. Don't have him on our roster. Here's Schrage now. Kicked out, had a whistle. That's 15 with a little bit of attitude. Noah Morris. Got to be careful right now, this point of the game. Got to keep all the emotions in check, because you can feel the tension building in the fan base with a 0-0 tie here well into the second half. Beautiful throw in.
It was.
Or kick
Downfield.
There's 28 for Schuylerville. Perez to Wenzel rather. Sunderman, the header, to O'Brien. Here's Winchell. Well, DeVelvis.
Yeah, faster to the ball on that one.
Yeah, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Schuylerville. Mount Academy and Chazy tied at 2 seconds away from overtime.
No, it's 2-1 still.
Is it 2-1?
Still 2-1.
Thought I heard 2-2.
Yep. I think they were threatening. And he almost put one in, but it's still 2-1.
2-1, Mount Academy over Chazy in Class D.
25 seconds left. Clock is stopped right now.
Throw in by Schuylerville. It's a Saddlemeyer. Kicked out by Wenzel.
No, now
Another
they
throw-in.
moved up to 40 seconds now, so that was just a clock issue, I guess.
Another throw-in. It's Wenzel and Saddlemeyer battling in the corner. As we start approaching the 28-minute mark here in the second half. Here it comes.
Probably the
Red
most
Devils.
sustained pressure Schuylerville's had here in the second half.
Here's Schrage. McCarty loses to Schrage. Schrage crosses midfield. Valley tries to approach. And Armstrong now gets it for Schuylerville. Too long on the pass over to McCarthy. Here comes Jones looking for the throw-in. Throws it towards Schrage. Header back to the middle of the field. There's Michael Luongo. Cleared out by Renner. Winchell overruns it. Here's Rojas for Center Moriches. Up Wenzel. O'Brien. Out of bounds. That's off Center Moriches. No, it's off Schuylerville.
It's 2-1 final.
Mount
Academy. Yep.
Academy wins the Class D championship.
Well, they go to the final.
To the final tomorrow.
Against Marathon.
Should be a great game considering how strong Marathon was.
Yes.
In the first Class D game. Luongo trying to take a kick, and Valley there to be able to block it. There's Schrage in the middle of the field. Perez, Schrage, Jones, all were there. Cleared out. That's by Saddlemeyer.
Oh, nice fake.
Sunderman's played a great game coming up from his defensive position. O'Brien, I believe that's Reese Tavares in the corner, battling. Ball clears out to Winchell. Now it's Winchell and DeVelvis. Winchell and Rojas. Out of bounds. Center Moriches ball right there in front of the official. No penalty called. 30 minutes gone. Still no score.
There's a foul. It was a free kick.
Was it?
Yeah, free kick. Sunderman will take it.
Kick out by Renner. It'll be another throw-in for Center Moriches.
Yeah, Michael Luongo was there as a threat, so they had to kick it out of bounds.
Out of bounds again, this time off of Archimedes Davis. Here's Wenzel on the throw-in. A header.
Got punched out of there.
Still going. Cleared out. Armstrong. Wenzel. McDermott passes him. Jones. Center of the field. A shot. Uguer is there.
Yeah, just a one hopper straight to him. But a good chance.
Nice high kick out to midfield. It's a header by McDermott. Here comes Jones for Center Moriches. Perez collides with Armstrong. That was called. Sunderman comes up to take the kick. Sunderman kicking, McCarty 10 yards away. Maybe a little bit closer. Clock still running, 32 minutes in. Looking to get the ball to Luongo. Here's Jones, shot on goal. Just outside the post. McDermott just misses. Ryan McDermott, a shot just beyond the left post. We're still scoreless. Collective gasp by both fan bases. That's how close that shot was.
So it was pretty close to a goal. I had some technical issues to take care of. So.
Here's Valley. Raup comes up, kicks it back into Schuylerville's end. Here's Armstrong. Looking toward check that. Looking toward Hutchinson. McCarty on Sunderman. The two of them have been battling most of the second half. Sunderman. Armstrong clears it again. Is that Winchell? Taken away by Rojas. Jones. Looking for Sunderman. Can he get it? No. Hutchinson right there. See who takes the throw in. That'll be Morris. Out of bounds. It goes back to that point, and a throw in now for Center Moriches. As we approach the 34-minute mark of this second half. Throw in by Jones, looking for Schrage. A header by Morris. That's Rojas from the center of the field up to Wenzel. Davis trying to get in. So is Tavares. A little posting, a little knocking down. O'Brien kicks at the center of the field. Schrage is there. Schrage trying to position, trying to angle. Back out, back in. Schuylerville clears temporarily. McDermott, he just barely missed the last one. Out toward O'Brien, who lets it go out of bounds.
Kind of strange, because they were having some sustained pressure there.
Last game still going here. Fowlerfield, Middletown scoreless.
Starting to look like we might have extra time here.
Here comes Schuylerville, 35 minutes down. There's Schrage. Saddlemeyer taking Schrage on. It goes out of bounds. Wenzel, quick throw in. Long, deep, toward Michael Luongo. Reese Tavares says, I'll kick it out. Here's O'Brien. Setting up for Perez. Tavares kicked it. Did he kick it out? Did he kick it off O'Brien? Off O'Brien. There's Perez again for Center Moriches. Reese Tavares. Nice angle. Got the ball beyond midfield. Here's Sunderman, though. Back up toward the middle. Saddlemeyer. McCarthy to Armstrong. Schuylerville. Winchell. Didn't know where the ball was.
If he did, he might have had to break down the field.
There's Armstrong, but it's 1-on-3. Pooches it in. And Raup is there.
Of course, he's coming out of the net. No issues there with him.
Nope. Long high kick by Raup.
Great kick.
Michael Luongo there. So is Schrage for Center Moriches. Back toward Perez. Perez has an option of 3 now in the box. Toward Schrage. Header. Taken by Uguerre.
Good header there. Just wasn't high enough, that was it.
Long kick by Uguerre. Out beyond midfield. Luongo. Schrage. Tavares. Tavares wins that one. Header back in.
Whiff on that one.
And Wenzel, who had the previous header, will throw it in. Looking for Luongo. There's Jones. That's rolling out of bounds.
Yeah, it might be offside. I was trying to see if the flag was up. Unless there was a foul. I didn't see the flag up, so it must have been a foul.
So Valley will take this kick. Approaching the 38-minute mark, second half. Winchell, he's got McCarty. Kick toward the middle. Oh, Raup comes in before McCarty can get there from Winchell. Quick kick out to Schrage. Header back across midfield. There is McDermott. Looking long for Luongo. Reese Tavares has to come back because Luongo had everybody beat. Goal is open. Shoots off the post.
Unbelievable.
Uguerre gets back in time.
Wow. Michael Luongo had an open net and he hit the right post.
You can't get closer between Luongo's kick there and McDermott's about 5 minutes ago. We remain scoreless. $1.50 left until we face overtime.
I thought that was going in.
It was a wide open net with Uguerre coming out. You can feel the tension. Both fan bases cheering everybody on. That was Hutchinson trying to save it for the Black Horses. Luongo, quick throw in. Another kick. Jones, they're trying to put pressure on the Schuylerville defense here. Closing seconds.
Missed the
That's
kick.
O'Brien. And that will be a goal kick.
So, yeah, less than a minute to go. Starting to look like we're going to have an extra 15 here.
Clock continues to tick, coming up on 40 seconds. We'll go over the R&R. We get to overtime. Schrage kicked out by Valley. Schuylerville. Hutchinson gets it cleared out. 15 seconds. Here comes McCarty. That's Sunderman. Hutchinson comes in. It goes off his body. Clock continues to tick. And we are headed to overtime in Game 2 of the Class C. Check that Class B championship between Center Moriches and Schuylerville. All you can say at this point is wow.
Yeah, it might be a golden goal for. I'm going to have to double check on it. 2 15-minute periods, and then we go to the PKs if nobody scores.
And this is not sudden death.
Okay, we're going to double check on that. So we'll take a quick 60-second break and be back. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Welcome back to Middletown. It's the grass field, Fowler Field, and we're headed to overtime between Center Moriches and Schuylerville. The Class B, the second game for the championship, which will be played tomorrow. That'll be 3 p.m. over on the turf. 2 15-minute periods before we get to penalty kicks. And yes, it is sudden death.
You know, the 2 AA games, they went into the second overtime with the winner.
Yeah.
So,
and in those scores, you had Fairport over the Plainsmen of Shenendahowa in double overtime, 1-0. And Brentwood from Long Island beating Ossining, the number 1 seed in the bracket, in double overtime, 1-0.
yes, it's pretty obvious that the Black Horses are on their heels here. I mean, the Red Devils have been the better team here today. They just haven't put the ball in the net. Came close a couple times, especially, the one with about, a minute and a half to go. Went off the right post.
Yes.
By Luongo, I think it was.
And it was also McDermott's kick just beyond the left post several minutes before that. So we're about 2 minutes from the beginning of overtime. You got to figure Center Moriches is going to keep doing the same thing.
Might as well. I mean, eventually you think you'd break through here. But Schuylerville, I mean, they have to do something. They're just trying to get one big counter and get Raup out of position. They really haven't done that yet.
And Raup has been out of position.
Yeah, he has been. He's been caught a couple times, but he's recovered. And a couple offsides have helped, too.
Yes. So it'll be interesting if Schuylerville can make some sort of pressure onto Center Moriches to keep Raup in his net and prevent him from using his leg to keep the ball deep toward the Schuylerville net.
Yeah, I mean, the field is pretty much slanted in the Red Devils' favor right now. I mean, they have had so much pressure, and Schuylerville's been on their heels pretty much the entire second half.
Yep. So let's see. We're going to keep the same sides of the field here in the first overtime period. Again, just to review, 2 overtime periods before any type of penalty kicks, and it is sudden death until we have a goal. Again, Center Moriches 2 years ago took the Class B championship in 2011. This is Schuylerville's first ever Section 2 championship, first ever trek through the boys soccer championship bracket. Experience on one side, uncharted waters on the other side, and Schuylerville with the first kick gets the ball into the Red Devils' territory. Sunderman kicks it out of bounds. We'll have the throw in. This is by Noah Morris to McCarthy. Kicked out of bounds again. Rojas. Throw in to number 2, Saddlemeyer. Getting shielded by the post beam here. Over toward the left corner. Centering kick.
Ooh, cut off right at the right time.
That was Wenzel for Center Moriches. Here's Armstrong. Clearing kick by Rojas.
Boy, that's the best offensive pressure that the Black Horses have had, especially here in the second half.
Yes. Here's the throw-in. Bounced off a Red Devil player. That's another throw-in for the Black Horses. Winchell, Armstrong, Saddlemeyer in the box as Wenzel for Center Moriches gets the ball again, and an immediate kick out of bounds. Kick back to the center of the field. Nice header by Sunderman. Luongo gets it out in front of Jones. Here's Jones now. Pursuit from behind.
Yeah, he kicked it too far.
Morris kicking it back, but it's picked off by McDermott. Here's Rojas whiffing at midfield. Schuylerville trying to get the ball to go back. Here's Schrage.
Yeah, he tried to get it to Schrage there.
Here's McDermott. Over to Sunderman. Nice header there by Schuylerville and Morris. McDermott looking for Schrage. Luongo's not too far behind.
Is he handball? I think it was a handball. Bounced off his hand.
So here's Valley now. 2.5 minutes gone. First overtime period. McDermott. Back over to Schuylerville. Armstrong, Saddlemeyer. This is Armstrong. There's Saddlemeyer. Here's Morris coming up. McDermott catches it with his foot. There with Hutchinson. Kicks it back toward Raup. Reese Tavares up at midfield. Here's Michael Luongo for Center Moriches on Armstrong. Up toward Hutchinson. And Raup is there.
Yeah, not much on the kick. Although good offensive pressure nonetheless. As Hutchinson tried to make something happen there.
There's O'Brien. Ball gets past him in Schuylerville territory now, though. Perez.
No giveaway.
There's Winchell for Schuylerville. 3 Red Devils behind him, around him. Throw in for the Red Devils. And we have a flag that says it's going the other way, though. Four minutes into the overtime period. Michael Luongo taken away by Valley. Saddlemeyer to Armstrong. Now it's back over to Center Moriches. Armstrong again. Pushes upfield. Sunderman clears it. O'Brien tried to take a whiff at it. It's a throw in for Schuylerville. McCarthy's there. Sunderman's there before him, though. Sunderman. Oh, here's McCarthy. Shot. Raup is there.
Yeah, he couldn't get him going the other way. Didn't have an angle to kick to the left side. He had the whole left side open, but had a defender there and couldn't get it there.
Reese Tavares trying to get it for Schuylerville. Here's Schrage, though. Schrage on Renner.
Yeah, Schrage knocked him over, so that's a foul on him.
5 minutes gone. First overtime period. We are still scoreless. Valley on the kick. Out of bounds.
Yeah, not a good kick there.
So Wenzel will take it for the throw-in. Look towards Schrage, got to Luongo. Schrage back to Luongo. Up in the air. Luongo trying to get control. End line kick.
Did he get a corner? I don't know if it was deflected. I think it is because they're still staying on this end. Yep.
It was the first thing Schrage pointed to was the corner flag.
Looks like Ryan McDermott will take the kick.
Quick kick. Schrage, short kick too. That was cleared out. Nice play. Is that Davies again?
Yeah, it hit too far for him.
Still got the ball. That's actually two. Saddlemeyer.
2-on-1.
Oh, Sunderman took on Winchell. Both went down.
Yeah, good defensive play there by Sunderman. If he doesn't get that,
Nope.
could be a goal the other way. For Schuylerville.
Ooh, a swing and a miss by Schuylerville. Schrage is there. Schrage still there.
All right, gets up. Well,
Up.
everybody's falling down. Play on.
Intensity in this game. The refs are letting them play. Schrage down again. Another hit down. Still no whistle. Out of bounds.
And we finally get a throw in after all that.
Here's Wenzel on the throw-in. Again, thanks for watching us here on the NFHS Network. I'm Tim Drawbridge, alongside Dean Perry, Julie Gilboy up on camera. We are in overtime between Center Moriches and Schuylerville. The throw-in. O'Brien.
They wanted a handball.
Luongo. Shot. Uguerre snags it again. Kick beyond the midfield circle. Rojas, McCarthy, getting tangled up. Out of bounds, a throw in. That's Davies on the far side. Here comes Perez. Michael Luongo, far side. Reese Tavares kicks it out. Halfway through the first overtime period. Kicked out again, this time by Renner. It looks like they're trying to move Wenzel back upfield. Clock continues to run. Off Wenzel. O'Brien to Perez. Here's Schrage. Reese Tavares got turned around. Here comes O'Brien. He's got two players midfield that were charging toward the goal. They're still there. There's Armstrong. Again Armstrong. Kicks it downfield. Nice header by Sunderman. Saddlemeyer takes it away. Kicks downfield. Slipped down by Winchell. Nice push in by Valley. Valley up again. Along. Michael Luongo. There's Hutchinson. Cleared out by Sunderman. Reese Tavares comes up. There's O'Brien. Bryan over to Jones. Center Moriches trying to slow down a little bit of the chaos here. 5.5 minutes left, first overtime period. Out of bounds, Wenzel on the throw-in. Towards Schrage. Kicked out. Renner, actually not kicked out, still in. Out of bounds now. And
yeah, really no team has had pressure the last few minutes. Just been in the middle of the field.
O'Brien, here's Jones. Hutchinson had more momentum to get the ball. Goes back to McDermott. Saddlemeyer. Ball's off of him. Throw in by McDermott. Just thrown down the field and it goes out of bounds.
He's going to force the Black Horses to throw it in. Maybe get some defensive pressure and get a turnover.
Here's the throw in. Jones with the header. There's Schrage. Kicked out by Armstrong. Check that, Armstrong's here. Intensity of this game has gone up several notches during the course of this overtime period.
Yeah, it's a definite foul.
That's on Perez.
Yeah, he ran him over. Of course, the Black Horse fans wanted a yellow card on that.
Mm-hmm. Running over Saddlemeyer. So Valley will take the kick. 4 minutes left, first overtime period. Still scoreless. There's McDermott. There's Schrage trying to control the ball.
It's going to be a throw-in.
There's Schrage and Renner on one another. Here's Jones for the throw-in. Looking to do a trade. Here comes Wenzel in to throw in. Clock continues to run. Five Red Devils in the box. Toward O'Brien. Perez. There's Luongo. Luongo slips down.
Yeah, got a wet field now.
Nice move.
For 3-on-2 the other way.
Here's Saddlemeyer. Pushes it upfield. Is that Winchell? Nice play by Sunderman. Raup with the ball.
Almost threaded the needle on that one.
Which is what you said they had to do coming into overtime. Check that Armstrong. Here's Sunderman. Ball still in bounds, out of bounds. It's Noah Morris. The throw-in is going to be by Hutchinson, though. You can hear how boisterous the crowd is getting below. Armstrong to McCarthy. Sunderman. That's off of the Black Horses. We go the other way. And we have a Black Horse player gimping off the field. It looks like he's grabbing his left knee. And that would be Davies. Davis, rather. Archimedes Davis. That does not look good. The way he's holding that leg and just struggling to get off the field. So with the stoppage in play, 2:01 left, first overtime period. This is sudden death. First one to score gets the overnight stay to come back tomorrow. There's Jones to Perez. Back to Sunderman. Nice block. We don't have 28 on our roster, though. Still in play, out of play. In the direction of Michael Luongo. Morris. Almost a hold there. That's over to Armstrong. Armstrong and Wenzel going at it now.
A little physical play there.
Roush comes out, kicks it. O'Brien snares it. There's McCarthy. Nice header by Reese Tavares. Perez up to Schrage. Here comes Center Moriches now. Schrage loses it. Schuylerville gets it downfield, straddling the line, going out of bounds, and a throw-in now for Center Moriches as the seconds tick down rather. Less than 45 seconds, first overtime period. Tavares clears it back down toward Winchell. Fair catch signaled by the referee. It'll be a throw-in for Wenzel. Schrage up toward Luongo. Michael Luongo.
He's got two defenders.
And that's going to be a goal kick as the clock continues to tick.
Well, corner, I think you're saying.
Corner, is it?
Yep.
Corner, and they're racing. There's O'Brien racing to the corner. 6, 5, 4. Header. Up in the air. 0. So after one overtime period, we are still scoreless between Center Moriches and Schuylerville. If it was wow after regulation, it's double wow now. Schuylerville putting pressure back onto Center Moriches. Several attempts, even though some of them weak, but at least they put some pressure on Ralph, rather.
Yeah, I was going to say, Schuylerville did a good job in that overtime, finally getting some pressure on him. But, again, towards the end of that overtime, Center Moriches got the better end of the overtime. So now we're going to go double overtime, and I guess we'll take a quick break. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Welcome back to Middletown. Fowler Field, the last game of the day, and it's the last game of the Final Four in Class B. We headed to the second overtime between Center Moriches up from Long Island from Section 11 and the Schuylerville Black Horses out of Section 2 in Saratoga County. I'm Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry. Julie Gilboy up on the camera above.
Getting extra work up there. I'm sure she's real happy about that.
She's smiling, as we know she probably is, hearing that. Great game. It has been slanted, as you've mentioned several times, towards Center Moriches, the way they played the second half. But you got to give kudos to Schuylerville, where they came out more aggressive in the first overtime period.
Yeah, they did. We'll see if they can do the same thing in the second overtime now.
So we'll switch ends of the field this time around. Center Moriches on the right side of your browser, whatever device you got, cell phone, iPad, laptop, or if you still use the old standalone chassis. You got Schuylerville in the black and orange. They'll be on the left side. We appreciate you for sticking with us and watching high school championship soccer action from Middletown all day long here on the NFHS Network. Schuylerville, the 6th seed in their Section 2 tournament. 2 weeks ago, beat Ichabod Crane in upset fashion. They continue to wear the Cinderella slipper. Center Moriches, the experience, having won this championship just 2 years ago. Ball deep into the corner, near side. Don't hear a whistle. Our view is obstructed by the post here.
Yeah. Throwing, yeah. Seems like I have the better angle on the left side. You have it on the right side. So.
Here's Sunderman. Michael Luongo. Here comes Saddlemeyer. Saddlemeyer and Luongo. They're going at it now. There's Valley. Schrage. Armstrong overruns it. There's Armstrong again. He's got Winchell. Carthy. Nice header by Sunderman to get it out toward Perez. Perez back to midfield. There's Schrage. Schrage up to Jones. That goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Schuylerville. Ooh, and that was a hit. A double takedown. Both players going down far side of the field as action continues.
Yeah, play on.
The officials are letting them play in the overtime periods. Here's Perez. O'Brien near side. Kicks it back to Winchell. That's picked off by Armstrong again, who kicks it downfield. Here comes Raup. Rolls it out. The running kick over midfield towards Schrage. Nice header. That's by Renner. Perez. Luongo. Saddlemeyer. All going at it. At this point, why not leave it all on the field? Double overtime.
Yeah, it's 3-on-5 offensively, and Red Devils have a bunch of players back, so the Black Horses are going to have a tough time on the offensive end.
McCarthy over there with Hutchinson. McDermott for the Red Devils. Here's the throw in for the Black Horses. Header by McCarthy. That's Rojas. The kick's out of bounds. Another throw in for Schuylerville. That's Ian Winchell. It's a takedown. They're letting them play.
Yeah, boy, he's upset.
Very
Nothing
upset.
was called.
That's DeVelvis.
Well, now they blew a whistle. Okay, so there's the kick now. Boy, that took forever.
A very delayed call. Here goes Raup. High, long kick. Coming up on the header. Schuylerville, another header there. That was Valley. There's Schrage for Center Moriches. Schrage again.
Ooh, I thought it might have been deflected off Schuylerville, but I guess not.
Out of bounds to get the throw in. Quick to get it in. But here's Sunderman, aggressive, coming up from his defensive position. Schuylerville kicks it out. McDermott. Ian Winchell. Winchell has it. It's 2-on-4.
He lost the dribble on that. It was bouncing on him.
There's McCarthy. Nice header by Ross. McDermott. Kicked up in the air. That's Valley, I believe. Nope, it's Reese Tavares.
And Schrage is down.
Took a hit right to the right side of his head. And we have a stoppage in play about 5 minutes in, second overtime period. You can hear some of the Center Moriches fans looking for the penalty on that play. Here comes the Red Rider coaching staff. Not happy with the fact that one of their lead players.
Yeah, not getting called on a yellow card. That's for the bench, so coaching staff gets a yellow.
Against
the coach.
Center Moriches?
Yes.
Sam Schrage, a striker, a junior for Center Moriches.
Well, with that, I guess we'll take a break, and then we'll see how long the injury takes. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but with that, we'll take a quick timeout. You're watching the NFHS Network. We're back, I guess so.
And welcome back. Good news, Sam Schrage is walking off the field. Not quite under his own power. Looks like he took a hit to the right side of his head. He's being replaced on the field by number 15, Joey Luongo.
We'll see if it fires up the Red Devil bench and players here.
It most certainly has their fan base. We can hear all of them down below.
Yes. They were not happy.
Not at all. So as we pick up the action, second overtime, we're still scoreless. McCarthy with a kick in toward Ralph rather. Clock has not started yet.
Again, there it is now. It finally did.
Out of bounds, off Schuylerville. Quick throw in by Jones. It's Joey Luongo. Jones on the far side, but this is Schuylerville with the ball. There's McCarthy over toward Ian Winchell. Here's Valley. Joey Luongo, fresh legs, his brother to his side. Here's McDermott kicking back in. Here's Reese Tavares. Joey Luongo coming in quick, being aggressive off the bench. O'Brien to McDermott. To Michael Luongo, picked off. Here comes Schuylerville. Valley approaching midfield. Both players collide. Cleared out by Sunderman. Reese Tavares. Place kicker for the football team, who will have the opportunity to play on the turf behind us next weekend. They'd like to try to claim something here this weekend before their football team comes down. Center Moriches putting pressure back on to Schuylerville. Clear the ball in the midfield. Header off of Winchell inadvertently. It's McDermott to Rojas. Back to Schuylerville. Kicking the ball back toward Rojas. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien changes directions. Picked off by Valley. McDermott kicks it for Center Moriches. Michael Luongo. And Uguer comes out again.
Yeah, aggressive on that one. He had to go get it. Otherwise, it could have been a scoring opportunity.
Nice kick by Uguer to midfield toward Winchell. Sunderman kicks it back. Valley matches him. Crosses midfield. McCarthy tried to come up and get it. Trips. Falls down. Sunderman, far side, out of bounds. A throw-in. That'll be by Morris. Morris on the throw-in. Here's Sunderman again. Out of bounds again. Morris again. There's Sunderman. Winchell trying to come up. We got another out of bounds kick.
Sliced that one to the right a little bit. A
little bit further downfield, and Sunderman kicks it out at that point. Clock continues to run. 7 minutes gone, second overtime. This is sudden death. Here's Michael Luongo, Dave Valley, Luongo, Valley. Here's Tavares.
Yeah, he got tripped, yep.
Got a penalty on.
Yeah, it's going to be a yellow card probably.
Penalty on Tavares. And they're reaching for the card. They're signaling for Tavares. He's got it in his hand. Tavares comes off. Who will they replace him with? The Schuylerville bench throwing their arms up. See somebody quickly trying to get sweats off on that side. When we pick up action here at the 7:18 mark of the second overtime, it'll be Sunderman doing the kicking. I believe that's number 28 coming back on the field for Schuylerville.
Ralph is, jeez.
It's a header out of the box. Here comes Schuylerville. Morris up to 28. Pass back to 28. Here's Perez. Michael Luongo picking it off. Luongo still pushing it up the sideline. Big collision, no whistle. Joey Luongo in the center of the box, just in the front edge. Luongo
just
slides
on
in.
a slip.
Heard a whistle and a stoppage in play. Clock continues to run, though.
Skaneateles very happy they're playing this extra time, by the way.
No kidding. Here's Valley. Nice kick across midfield up toward 28. Again, we don't have him on our roster. That's Saddlemeyer. That's Armstrong. Armstrong, Wenzel. Near side, McCarthy. Kicks it up. Winchell's direction, but Ralph's going to come out. He can grab it. Sudden death in Middletown. Class B, Final Four. This is game 2 between Center Moriches and Schuylerville. Luongo loses it to Valley. Pushes it up to 28. Tries to do a little quick push up toward Winchell. Armstrong intercepts the pass from Wenzel. Armstrong again. That's picked off by Jones. Here's McCarthy. Some interesting passing now by Schuylerville. This is what they were doing a couple of weeks ago against Ichabod Crane at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, they just haven't had enough possession.
McCarthy. Saddlemeyer. Saddlemeyer being challenged by Joey Luongo. Out of bounds. And a whistle.
I think substitutions.
Strage comes back in for Schuylerville. Tavares, check that. Tavares for Schuylerville. Strage for Center Moriches. Tavares immediately comes to the sideline for the throw-in. Winchell. Body's flying, and there's a whistle. They go against Schuylerville. 4:45 left in the second overtime. Sudden death here in Middletown. Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry. The third double overtime today in Middletown. The other two were both Class A Final Four games.
Yeah, Miguel Perez couldn't corral it originally.
Kick it back to Raup. Short kick. McCarthy coming up towards Sunderman. Nice header by Valley over Luongo. Here's Perez. He's got O'Brien near side. Here's Reese Tavares. Turns and kicks. Perez, nice corral by the right foot. Schuylerville looking to push the ball up the field again. That's toward McCarthy. Here's Ian Winchell. It's a race, but Raup going to kick it back. McDermott to Perez to O'Brien.
Got to beat 2 defenders. Can't do it.
Tavares.
Actually, he did. Just when he passed it up, it was kicked out of bounds. So not a bad play.
.3:15 counting. Second overtime. The throw in. Header. A wheelhouse kick by Luongo.
Might have to start thinking about who your kickers are going to be and who you think has the advantage in the overtime. Who has the better goaltender?
Exactly.
As we think about the penalty kicks coming up.
Got to figure Uguer's been doing more diving around than Raup has. Out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for Center Moriches. 2:40 left. Raup coming out toward midfield.
Yeah.
Again. We saw this most of the second half when Center Moriches was putting a ton of pressure on Schuylerville. Ball center of the field, cleared out. McCarthy and Sunderman challenging each other again. Here's McCarthy. He's coming across midfield. He's got Winchell just to his right. Rojas.
He couldn't get it to him. Well, he's have some black shirts now.
Here's Jones. He came back in defense. Got a Schuylerville player who went down, no call.
Yeah, he fell on his own. He slipped on the turf.
Seen a lot of that now in the second half. 1:41 left, second overtime. Schrage back to Jones. To Schrage again, but kicked out of bounds. Here's Jones on the throw-in, looking for McDermott. Jones again. No whistle. Perez to McDermott. Out of bounds. This will be Schuylerville ball. Throw in long. Still in the field of play.
Yeah, right on the line. How about that?
Yeah.
Not her saying out of bounds.
We're less than a minute. Second overtime. Make it through the next 52 seconds, and we're talking penalty kick time. Winchell on the backside of Perez. McDermott. Armstrong comes up. Here's Rojas. Valley kicks and misses. Tavares.
Yeah, they still have 4 defenders back there, so there's not going to be an issue.
There's O'Brien. Here's Wenzel coming up the near side. Wenzel. There's Tavares.
2 black shirts right on top of them. One quick play, maybe 20 seconds.
Everyone clustering in the box. Here's a header. Save by Uguer.
Yeah, header by Luongo. And that'll do it.
2 overtimes. Now to penalty kicks. And we're still tied at 0.
All right, I guess we'll take a quick break and be back with the penalty kicks right after this. You're watching the NFHS Network.
Welcome back to Middletown, Fowler Field, the grass side. And it's the last game that continues, and it's now the longest game of the day. Double overtime has come and gone. We're now heading toward penalty kicks, and we're still knotted at 0-0. Hi again, everyone. Tim Drawbridge alongside Dean Perry, Julie Gilboy up on camera above us. This was a scintillating double overtime period, both teams having opportunities. And the tilt you described in the second half that Center Moriches was having on the field, putting pressure on the Black Horses from Schuylerville, seemingly got a little bit evened out during the overtime periods.
Yeah, it did. Schuylerville played much better in the overtime. Center Moriches had the 2 best opportunities to score.
Yes.
They had the header that was hit their own player, and then the other one hit the right post late in the game. I think Schuylerville won the toss, so we're going to find out if they chose whether to go first or last, and then the other team gets to choose which side to kick.
It's not necessarily the person with the strongest leg, but sometimes it's the person who has the right gut instinct, mental approach to be
accuracy, obviously.
Accuracy to be able to kind of disguise where you're going against the goalkeeper.
Yes. Because really the kicker has the advantage because the net is so big from a short distance. And the goalkeeper can't stop all angles, all shots, especially in the upper corners.
So let's review. 5 penalty kicks for each team. Clearly the team with the most penalty kicks into goal, takes the match, and we'll play the winner of our third game here on the grass field earlier today. Skaneateles beating Haverling, Bath Haverling 3-1 with some outstanding goal play by Andrew Newman.
All right, so Center Moriches is out, so we're going to find out who's going to kick first. Most of the time, team that wins the coin toss kicks first.
I see O'Brien, Sunderman, Rojas, Michael Luongo, and I want to say Perez.
And obviously, Julie can zoom in on just the kicker and the goalie when that does happen. So it's going to be 12 yards out from goal, each kick. So it looks like Center Moriches will go first.
And that will be number 11, Liam O'Brien, one of the captains.
Oh,
and it's in.
Actually, it was a save, and it just had so much force on it. It went past the left hand of the goaltender, Uguer.
Now up, Schuylerville. And number 2, the senior, Zachary Saddlemeyer. Pressure now falls on Schuylerville. Ralph jumping. Can't tell if it's to stay warm, excited, or both. Save!
Quickness. What quickness there from Ralph.
Here comes number 7, Byron Miguel Perez, the middle fielder and a senior for Center Moriches.
This is round 2 now.
Brady Uguer, the goaltender for Schuylerville, made the stop, but O'Brien's kick had so much power, like you noted, Dean, it got in. And he just froze. 2-0.
Yeah, a lot of times it's your hip action.
Yes.
You think you're turking one way, but the ball goes the other way.
Ian Winchell, the senior, now for Schuylerville.
This is a big kick. He misses here. The Black Horses are in big trouble.
Oh, above the net. He had power, but too high.
Wow, so we go to round 3 now. So, in essence, the Red Devils can win it on this round.
And the captain, another one, Jesus Rojas, the senior. And Winchell, who took the kick, is gimping back toward his teammates. Could be a cramp, could be a pull, one of the attachments in the back of the leg. He freezes again. Uguer seemingly seeing slow motion.
And Schuylerville has to score here or the game's over.
Matthew McCarthy, who's played one heck of a game. Is Cinderella about to lose her slipper? It's in. 3-1. Matthew McCarthy keep Schuylerville going.
Yeah, but if they score here, it's over. So
Sunderland now.
So Sunderman scores, it's over.
Anthony Sunderman, the junior, played an outstanding game defensively. Freezes, and it's over. Center Moriches beats Schuylerville 3-1.
4-1, actually. Well, then the penalty kicks. It will go down as
Yep,
a 0-0 tie.
4-1 in penalty kicks. And the crowd roars. Got to give it to both teams. They left everything out there, absolutely. But you got to say, experience beats Cinderella as the clock strikes midnight on Schuylerville.
Yeah, I thought Center Moriches was the better team tonight. They had more opportunities.
During the course of the year, they ran 16-2-2. Now make it 17-2-2. They will take on Skaneateles, who won the earlier game 3-1. We'll see how the goaltending goes in that game tomorrow afternoon.
Well, our scoreboard, we show 0-0 final. That's what it is. And then we put the 4-1 next to the penalty kick, the amount they had. So that is the official final.
So number 11, Liam O'Brien. Number 7, Byron Miguel Perez. Number 12, Anthony Sunderman. And number 29, Jesus Rojas, deliver with penalty kicks over Schuylerville 4-1. Center Moriches gets to stay in upstate New York one more night and take on Skaneateles for the Class B championship tomorrow afternoon. That taking place on the turf behind us at 3 o'clock. What an afternoon, my friend.
Yeah, boy, long day, especially the last game. But it was very good soccer. We saw a lot of great players out here, and we'll see them again tomorrow.
You got that right. Join us back here on the NFHS Network. Game starting 10:30. Don't forget, we're back here in Middletown next week for all of your championship football action with the road to the Carrier Dome for Thanksgiving weekend. On behalf of Julie Gilboy, coming downstairs to get warm, Dean Perry, hope to catch up with your brother soon as well. I'm Tim Drawbridge. Thanks for watching us here on the NFHS Network. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.